Never in doubt. I tell you, never ever in doubt. What can I say? What can we say? I don't even know I've jumped on and done a video. I really don't, but I felt I should. It had to be done, really, didn't it? Well, where do we start? I think we've got to start with the penalty shootout. Oh, you know, like sometimes people say I couldn't watch it and I can't watch it. I was like that. I was watching it through me from behind. The kids watch it behind the sofa. I was watching it through my fingers. Nerves of steel. Pickford. Becker. I mean, Carlos Becker. I'm lost for words here. So he's linked with West Ham. I said to my family, said to my wife, this guy was linked with West Ham. He's going to score here. He's a striker. He's a top finisher. Bloody, 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 blah. Pickford, absolutely wonderful. And then when Dyer stepped up, did you see him? He was sort of slouch, and you know what it's like as a fan. You're thinking, oh no, you're just thinking the worst. His body language was terrible. I thought he'd been terrible. I thought we lost the flow of the game because of the Dyer substitution. We get to that in a little bit. But as I say, because he played, because of his body language, because we're England. Oh no, there's just no way. I thought, why is Vardy not taking this penalty? He came on as a striker. Obviously, Kane did a lovely penalty. Rashford, low, very, very good. I thought, why is Vardy not taking this pen? So up steps Dyer. I thought, oh no. But do you know what? Fair play. Fair play. Absolutely brilliant. And I decided sort of, I think as the second half of extra time was petering out and they were getting a little bit more of the game as well, and England looked really, really tired. And not only tired, we looked devoid of a lot of ideas as well. I thought, I'm going to jump on, I'm going to do a video. I'm hoping that we win, but with an expectation to have a rant, if the truth be known. So yeah, there we go. It goes into penalties. Let all the kids stay up late so as they can watch it. They don't make it easy. They do not make it easy, England, and there's a lot to go through in that game. Excuse me, I just got to click a window. Oh, we got people in the live chat. Hello, everyone. Hello, Chris. Chris is happy. Gary Wells. Oh dear. Gary Wells said, wasn't it great, mate? They've shut me up. Dyer is some player, isn't he? We'll get on to that, Chris. Paul's here. Hello, Paul. Vardy bottled it, Gary says. Vardy bottled it. I totally agree. Big guts from Rashford on that. Jazzy B, he says, cheats like Colombia don't deserve to win. Now, let's have a quick talk about that. I'll come back to the chat in a minute. Hello there, Sam. And hello, Trav, as well. What a dirty bunch they were. They were absolutely terrible. I mean, I thought Panama were bad, but I sort of understood it a little bit because it's their first World Cup or whatever. They never scored a goal in the World Cup. They were happy just to be there. And I think because they clearly didn't have very good players, I thought they were almost like a League 2 standard, League 1 standard, something like that. I almost thought, do you know what? You can do this dirty tactics, and I sort of understood it. This lot were terrible. This lot were worse. And I actually thought I didn't really want to talk about it had we have lost, because it just seemed like I'm a sore loser. But we've won, so I can't be a sore loser now. So I'm going to talk about it. I don't know what's happened to South American football. I've got to say, when I was growing up, so I certainly remember the first World Cup I really remember was Spain '82. Mexico's very, very vivid in my memory. And then, of course, 1990 was a big one. Lots of us sort of watched and enjoyed that, and was really the birth of the football renaissance, if you like. But I always looked at South American teams as being flamboyant, full of skill, and there was just so much to admire. They played a different kind of game to us. Well, I'll tell you what, they play a different kind of game to us now, but it ain't nice. Having seen Neymar and his histrionics, not just a rolling around, surely you've seen the one where the geezer picks the ball up in between his legs and steps on his toe, whatever, and he's rolling around like it's the end of the world. That's Brazil. Now, Brazil is still playing some nice football. I guess I've not seen a lot of it. As they've got good players like Coutinho and Neymar and whatnot. But people like Marcelo in there as well, they're just nasty. They're cynical and they're cheats. They're just a bunch of cheats. And then you see, you watch Panama just cheating. And today that was on a different level. We know about the Argentinians as well. They've been doing it for a long, long time. But that today was cynicism on a whole different level. And that geezer didn't get a red card for the old headbutt on Jordan Henderson. I'll never know. And the whole penalty. Let's talk about Harry Kane for a moment here. I said on the forum, I'm not going to criticise Harry Kane ever again. I might have a little boo or whatever when we're playing Tottenham and I'm in the crowd, but I can't. I think that geezer has got a huge personality and resolve to step up in the way that he did, in that all the players were surrounding him. Did you see when they were digging their feet? They were trying to gouge out the penalty spot to some of the Colombian players. The way they surrounded the referee, the delaying tactics in trying to delay Kane's penalty. And then the big geezer, apparently he's from Barcelona, the way the big geezer was just following him around, trying to get in his face. Just the whole time, there was a level of physicality. And I don't just mean headbutts and things like that, but just the way they were constantly barging footballers, the England players, the way they would, even just when there was a break in play, an England player would be walking somewhere, they'd walk straight across their path, so they had to walk into him. It's just cheating. And the funny thing is with Colombia, is the moment that they stopped doing all that and tried to attack, they looked like a half decent team. But I've got no sympathy for them, no sympathy whatsoever. Let me just jump back to the live chat there. What are you lot saying? Well, Chris Delby, hello mate. He's saying he's great watching the Colombia supporters crying. Hello Nibbles, hello mate. Where's Mark Noble when you need him? Says Sam. Thank you God, says Ben Davis. Come on boys, Nibbles says. What can you say? Sweden on Saturday, Ben Davis. Yeah, we'll have to turn our attentions to that. This is not a preview or anything like that. I said I wasn't even going to do any World Cup videos, but how can you not get caught up by the emotion of all that? Crazy. David Taylor, hello. Backers on the bus playing. He says, Gary's talking about Neymar. We were just discussing Neymar, wasn't he? He's an embarrassment. And Barrios was ridiculous. Barrios was the one that did the headbutt, was it? How did he stay on the pitch? How many fouls was the referee going to allow him? Yeah, I mean, great point, Gary. Andreas Cannon, hello Andreas. He said congratulations from Sweden. He'll see you soon. We will do, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Ben Kane had bottle. Paul says the referee pretty much lost control after the first 20 minutes. He felt that the referee bottled it loads. Just going back to what Ben said about Kane having bottle there. There's also something else about it, which is he's already taken 2 penalties in the other game, whichever one it was Panama. And then he's then taken another penalty in today's game. So everybody's watching this World Cup, aren't they? Even I said I wouldn't really watch it. I've actually ended up watching 5 or 6 games now. So any professional footballer's watching this thing, and they're going to know which side Kane places his penalties. He's going to be watched. Goalkeepers will certainly be doing their research, looking at archive footage. So even in this World Cup, Ospina has seen Harry Kane take 3 penalties. The pressure on Harry Kane when he took that penalty in the shootout as well. The geezer is cool as a cucumber. Now, it's not just that. I've got to say about Harry Kane, bit of a Harry Kane loving in many respects, which I never thought I'd do. I know he's a dirty Tottenham Hotspur player, but it's not him that's dirty. It's the club. I'm sure he'll see sense and move elsewhere at some point, but I'm not going to let my hatred of Tottenham Hotspur get in the way of just how fantastic Harry Kane is. He's the best player on our team by a country mile, and there's nobody else on his wavelength. When Vardy came on, I was really disappointed, actually. I thought Vardy, almost like the game was a level above him. By that point, Colombia had upped their game. Excuse me if I'm jumping from one sort of subject to the next, but as I say, I'm jumping on. There's no editing. We're live. It's just, well, my brain's full of stuff from what happened in that game. Let's go through the players in chronological order. and I'll tell you what I think. Okay, so we'll start with Pickford. Well, he's a hero of today. Just before they scored with that header, it was like a dagger to the heart, wasn't it? Just before they scored with that header, he made that lovely save. Great save. And, of course, in a penalty shootout, what a hero he was. So, well done. The back three, Walker had some dodgy moments today. He's not a centre-back. I understand why he plays him there, because when we go up for corners and set plays, it gives pace to the back. So if we get countered and they break on us quickly, he's quite quick there. But I would say him, Stones and Maguire, who looks a decent footballer. Maguire's a real threat when we have a set play. There's a shakiness about him. That is not the most solid back three I've ever seen. So, yeah. I don't want to be down on it too much, but just go through the players. As I saw it, Trippier, I really like Trippier. He's a really, really good player, and we ought to mention him as well. You know, that was great. That was great. He's a good player. I really, really like him very much. So you can understand why they let Walker go, because he was playing right fullback at Spurs, wasn't he, Walker? And they let him go 50 million to City. You can understand why they didn't mind doing that, because Trippier is a very, very good player, and they had a ready-made replacement already at the club. Okay, I mean, Dele Alli, I don't know if he wasn't fit or what. He didn't really offer anything. That was a mistake. I think in hindsight, maybe looking back, Southgate, I think he should have started Loftus-Cheek there. I didn't really see what Dele Alli had to offer. Henderson was Henderson. He did all right, particularly in the first bit where we were trying to attack. I want to get to midfield a little bit later on in the video. I don't know how long it's going to be going on for. Who else have we got? Ashley Young there. It's dangerous from set plays, Ashley Young, but that's not really his position. I understood why Rose came on, but he does have a good delivery, Ashley Young. I'm surprised to see him in the tournament or even in the squad, to be fair, but there were worse players than Ashley Young today. Right, okay, so who am I missing out here? Obviously, Harry Kane. I've already spoken about Harry Kane. I think he was absolutely fantastic. Raheem Sterling, I thought for the first 10 minutes was full of energy and run a lot, and he's fast, and he seemed to cause them problems just in terms of his energy running around. But I think once they sussed out that actually he has got a worrying lack of technique for a £50 million player, and also he doesn't have a trick, which is a bit of a problem really for him. For someone that quick, for somebody who's, let's be fair, Raheem Sterling's been a child star since he was at QPR. He doesn't have a trick. That's quite weird, and it's a hindrance. So he can't cross. He's not very good at passing. He's not really scoring goals. I think his first touch is a bit poor, but apart from that, he was pretty good. Jesse Lingard, hard to be critical of Lingard because he's coming, but I've often wondered what Jesse Lingard is. I don't really know. Is he a winger? Is he a number 10? I don't know what he is, and hard to be critical because he scored that very good goal in the group phase. But I thought largely it passed him by. There's a problem in the midfield sort of area, which I'll get to in a second. But where I really thought I thought it was weird for Southgate, and I'm glad we won. I'm glad we got through because it was just sounded like such sour grapes. Like just a case of jumping on and moaning about it. But I hope he learns from this. We lost any sense of momentum when he brought Dyer on. It was the wrong substitution. I understand what he was doing to try and shore it up, but you can't. This has been the era of England for years and years and years. I'm not being wise after the event. I said this in a cup of tea to Gio before the World Cup. It's why David Batty gets more caps than Glenn Hoddle. It's why Le Tissier doesn't play very much. It's just when the game is getting tight, you need to keep possession, and you don't keep possession by bringing Dyer on. Penalty aside, as I said, he was a hero today, Dyer, for what he did there. But actually, I'm talking him playing as a midfield player and retaining the ball alongside Jordan Henderson. It was bad. That game was actually crying out for a Wilshere or for a Shelby. In many respects, I think, number one, we miss a number 10. You know, we miss someone to just dart around just behind the front two, or whatever they are. And I just don't think Lingard's that guy. You know, I think he has got a good shot on him, but it's that killer pass. And we also lack a playmaker, someone who can do the long pass, who can dictate the play. I hate it. People use it as an American term, but they say quarterback. I'll tell you who used to play it, a bit unpopular. It was in our era, my era, Jamie Redknapp used to play it very, very well. He would sit there. Michael Carrick, a more recent example. We lack somebody like that, and we lack someone further forward. Number 10, just two positions in the midfield where you have long passing and short passing, and technique, and someone that can skip past somebody. And I just think that we're missing that. So the system's worked all right for Southgate, but I was surprised to see him bring Dyer on. And then we sort of lost all control of the game. I don't know what you guys think. Let's have a look what you think. Right. Right, I've missed up a few comments here, so let's just go back a little bit. Okay, yeah, I mean, Lee Major says it's coming home. He doesn't care if Spurs be in the spine of the team. I'm just feeling the same way, Lee. I've got to say, I didn't start out like that. I had left a bitter taste in the mouth. But you know what? I don't care, and I've got a lot of respect for Harry Kane now, for the way he dealt with that, the way he was a captain, the way he led from the front, the way he won a free kick when we needed to win a free kick. He's a really good player. He's a very, very good player, and he's got tons of character. And I tell you what, the complete opposite of what some of those Colombian boys who completely lost their heads. He kept his nerve and he just kept a wise head on his shoulders all game. I'll still call him Bruce Forsyth. I will, but I really like him. I've got a lot of respect for Harry Kane. I was supposed to say I'm a Harry Kane fan, and I guess I am for the World Cup. What we got? Reece Allen says he can't wait for Belgium versus Brazil. That's going to be crikey. I mean, it's hard to think of any other games at the moment. Sam Pragnall says, we think the Premier League's bad for December, but Colombia took it to another level. They really, really did. I thought there were times when the VAR, I think the VAR was harsh to us. I think the VAR has been harsh to us for the whole time, but I do think there were times when if you're going to implement it, if you're going to have the system there, if you're going to have 4 knobheads sat up in a box, all dressed up in a full kit, then there's a lot of things that could have been looked at and probably should have been looked at. If you've got the facility to do it, then they should have done it, if you know what I mean. Why did Henderson take one, says Peter. Peter's Man City fan, often watches our stuff. Hello, Peter. I don't know, mate. I really, really don't know. But I'm not a big Jordan Henderson fan, but he's been a lot better at this tournament than I thought he was. For the reasons I just gave on the midfield, I think he's a functional player, and I just think you do need someone at least in the midfield that can control the ball. So, I mean, whether I pick on Dele Alli or I pick on Lingard or I pick on Henderson, whatever. I having said that, I didn't want him to miss. I've seen when Pearce missed, but Gareth Southgate himself missed, Chrissy Waddle. It's a horrible thing, and I'm ever so glad for him that he gets to live again, and he certainly owes Pickford and Dyer and some of the other guys a pint. That's for bloody sure. But I don't know why he took one. I think he took one, and I think the same reason that Dyer took one is because others bottled it, mate. People you'd expect to step up. But by the same token, we have to if we're going to criticise those who didn't step up, we've got to give a pat on the back to those that did. And there were some nice penalties, some really what a very shootout, fantastic. Crikey, what's going on? It's getting hot in here. Right, what have we got, Gary? Excuse me. Hope we don't have to go through that again against Sweden. Let's get the job done. We can beat them, but that's for sure. I totally agree, Gary, but I hope Southgate's learned. If nothing else, I hope he's seen what has happened with Dyer there, and he has thought, actually, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't care if Dyer plays. Play Dyer instead of Kyle Walker if you want, but I hope Southgate has noticed that we were 1-0 up and he lost control of the game with that substitution. Not that I think we were... Not I think Dele Alli, for instance, was particularly brilliant, but he took off a more attacking player and then shored it up. He should have put Loftus-Cheek on there. Not I think Loftus-Cheek is the answer, but I do think he's a good player. He can pass and move. He can actually go past a player, which is a hell of a thing if you can take an opposition player out of the equation. It's just something that Dyer can't do. And even when Dyer came on, it wasn't like he did shore it up because they had a long shot. And then from the corner that happened just afterwards, we conceded a goal. So it wasn't like the defensive tactics worked anyway. It was like something out of the Sam Allardyce playbook, what Southgate did there. And I just hope he's learned for it, because there's so many positive things that he's done. Chris Dalby said the whole team looked absolutely exhausted in the second half. Extra time, didn't they? Just Colombia looked so much fitter. What is going on with our players' fitness? I tell you, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I've been a little bit critical here. I think we worked a lot harder than Colombia. I think at the start we were closing down, we were pressing, we were doing loads of stuff, and while they were poncing around doing a load of nonsense and complaining to the referee and trying to kill the game and stuff like that, I thought we were high energy. I thought we paid for it in extra time. So that's what I think happened there, Chris. Paul said subs really did affect the game. It went very cold and lackluster. Certainly did, mate. Chris again, the whole building from the back worries me. It was like watching West Ham at times with the sideways back passes. Yes, I actually want us to play that way. But you need to have somebody. It's all very well the back line passing it around themselves, but when you get it to the midfield, they need to be able to pass it as well. It's very much with England. It's either go wide and get the crosses in, or from set plays, or nothing in many respects. We need people in the middle to create chances from the middle. The wing backs work. Young puts crosses over, Trippier puts crosses over, and we are usually very effective from set plays. I thought they handled us well too. I thought that Sanchez, the Tottenham centre back, another Tottenham player, got some good players. I thought he was very good as well, and the big tall one, as horrible as he was and as cynical as he was very good. But we take so much time in our build-up play, and there's no one to play that incisive pass, and just so as we can attack and score goals through the middle. It's almost wide or nothing with England. So I understand why the back line want to keep possession, but it needs to be it's sort of just as if what you're going to do is give it to Dyer and you're going to give it to Henderson. So that's my views on that. Okay, yeah, Wiltshire. Paul saying Wiltshire and a bit of guile, of course. What else have we got? Darren Minshaw said when Henderson missed, I thought, here we go again. Didn't we all, mate? Didn't we all? Chris said, yeah, he thought it was curtains when Colombia scored. What we got? We got Vinay, who says Sweden fancy their chances. He lives in Sweden, and they're quite confident. I don't blame them. Having seen some of the other teams, you look at what France were doing, and you couldn't look at England and not be confident. You'd want to play us. Out of the teams remaining, you'd even say sort of Croatia look a bit better than us, wouldn't you? I mean, let's get a sense of realism. We beat Tunisia, we beat Panama, we lost to Belgium reserves with our reserves, of course, and we've scraped through on penalties against Colombia, who are missing their best player. So I can understand why people will want to will play us, and why Sweden might be confident. Having said that, we've got to beat Sweden. I mean, the Colombia was the hard game. We have a run now. We only have ourselves to blame, but the players have to learn on the job, and Southgate has to learn on the job. And I do expect changes. This always happens in the World Cup. The longer you go on, it's organic. You look at 1990, it became organic that the team changed as it went on, and the longer you stay in, the formation changed, the team changed. I would not be surprised if we don't see. Who am I thinking of? If we don't see Dele Alli. I wouldn't also be surprised if something happens with Walker there. He gave him a few too many chances for my liking. We've got hello, Bez. Hello, mate. England like watching West Ham. Yeah, but we got the victory at the end, I guess. Thank you very much, Scott. Scott-free gaming official. There you go. I think he's a gaming expert. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that wouldn't have been a good game of FIFA, Scott. Thank you very much, my friend. Mr. Big Bez, that's Bez again. Hello, mate. He said every emotion felt possible, like a home game. Where have we got? Colombia were cheating. Yes, they certainly were. Hello, words 789. Darren Minster again said yesterday Japan were dynamic and attack-minded. I thought we were slow and boring. We need a new Gaza. Yeah, I mean, that is a strange one. It was very much a conscious decision. I mean, we're going to keep going back to this midfield thing because I'm like a scratch record. I say the same with West Ham, don't I, about the dysfunctional midfield. It's a strange one. That game was. We don't have a Gaza, but we do have a Shelby who we could have brought on, or a Wilshere, as we know. But I understand if you don't want to take Wilshere, then that's up to him. But if you're not taking one playmaker, take another. And I do feel that he could have got in the middle, put his foot on the ball, and started playing balls through. Particularly when he brought Vardy on as well, but start playing balls through to Kane. Kane can hold it up, lay it off. We needed more creativity, certainly. Well, we got Alice. Hello, Alice. She said, "Yeah, sea lions ate my vest." Oh dear, that sounds serious. I like sea lions. Just basically floating dogs, really, aren't they? Was it worthwhile bringing Vardy on? Says Keith. No, I thought we needed to bring Vardy on earlier. I do think once we went a goal up, there was there was genuine cause for bringing either Vardy or Rashford on, because at that point they had to stop play acting. They had to come and attack us and leave space at the back. So I thought that was a time to do an attacking substitution. So I probably would have brought Sterling on and brought either Vardy or Rashford on to do that swap, and then do the midfield swap that I said earlier, which was Dele Alli for Loftus-Cheek. And I'm really gone on him. And Vardy's very fast, and to see him get behind the back line. But that the big guy, the Barcelona one, the cynical, nasty one, he looked like he'd seen it all before when marking Vardy. He was a little bit too cute, a little bit too clever for Jamie Vardy, who looked at that level, at the World Cup level, a little bit short. Robert Belcher says, daytime drinking this weekend, boys. What? When's the game then? When is the game? Have we already said that? I don't know. Anyway, someone let me know in the chat, please, if you wouldn't mind. Henderson is word 789 said Henderson's going to be very, very grateful. He is really, isn't he? Let's see. Somebody go. Okay, we don't have the players for the sort of dynamic play or the staff to get the team to play like that. Japan had no fear, whereas England have the world on their shoulders. I don't think they have, Chris, in this one. I think we have gone in with less expectation than any other time I can remember. I think it's one of Gio's favourite sayings is a free pass, and I think certainly England have almost had a free pass. When I thought we were going to lose, I was going to come on here and I would have criticised it tactically, but I was going to say Southgate needs to stay in the job. So I really do think that, because there have been a lot of positives. There's been a fresh approach. I was just disappointed to see him go back to defensive tactics when we were 1-0 up. Now, that's not been what his reign has been like, and that's why I switched off from Hodgson and Capello and Ericsson and McLaren. I'm sick of all that. I don't want to see it. I want to see adventure. So I don't think England had the world on their shoulders. I really don't, but I do agree. Japan were fantastic. I saw about half hour of that, and that was some game at the end, wasn't it? Keith says Sterling kept giving it away. Yes, he did, mate. Yes, he did. Hollywood pass every time. Not just a Hollywood pass either, as it would bounce off him if it was a simple control of the football. I understand why he plays him, because he's quick and he stretches defence. But for all the reasons I said at the start of the video, he doesn't offer much. What is he? What is he? What's he good at? I don't know. I don't think there's much. Gary says we can beat Sweden, and if it's Russia, that'll be another away game like today. So he thinks it's valuable experience gained. I do think there's a lot of experience to be gained from what happened today. I just hope they use that experience. Vinay says Rashford couldn't punish the Swedish defence quick and direct. They're all tall and good with crosses. They weren't bothered by our set plays either. Why does VAR go missing when England play? I don't know. I don't want to get all conspiratorial about it. I've got to say it does seem a little bit harsh, and you do feel hard done by. They should have been down to 10 men, but I wasn't going to come on and blame them if we'd have lost. I blamed that, because I do think, I don't know if you remember years ago, I can't remember what tournament it was. Sol Campbell scored and we had the goal ruled out for offside. Everyone was blaming that for our exit from the tournament, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It's always in your hands. Then I keep blaming officials and all the rest of it. The biggest swing in that game wasn't when the referee didn't send that geezer off. It was when we decided to defend at 1-0, and I will always maintain that. And funny enough, saying that, Gary Wells says we need to go for more than 1 goal and not rest on a 1-goal lead. It almost cost us again today. Paul, he understands why Henderson plays, but why do most of his passes have to be chipped up or floated? It does. He's Sweden. Very nice. Yeah, I guess he does. But then again, if you haven't got a number 10 in front of you to slip it to, he's going to do something. You are going to try that stuff. But as I say, he's not a Carrick or a Redknapp or a Hoddle who was the absolute master of it. Or even Ian Bishop used to play for West Ham. Bishop was great at that sort of thing. He's not that guy. England need a playmaker. What else we got? Hold on, I'm losing it. Is Southgate a new Allardyce? Says James Dean. Well, I think not, but I do hope he learns. Referee was bad. Should have red carded at least one Colombian player. I'm really surprised. That will stick with me for some time. That and the thing is, this World Cup, even though I haven't watched all the games, has been like a festival of football. Everyone has absolutely loved it. Well, the eyes of the world were on that game, as they are on every other game, and they would have seen those players, and they should be embarrassed. And I can't remember. I think when Sterling went off, one of them went to shake his hand, and Sterling went, I'm not shaking your hand, which I don't blame you if I wouldn't shake their hand. I always think about shaking hands. Well, I wouldn't shake hands with somebody that had stuck their studs down my shin, tried to elbow me and tried to cheat. I wouldn't shake him hands. Not a chance. All this FIFA fair play football family. What a load of old rubbish. And then the Colombia geezer was complaining, he's not shaking my hand. Yeah, there we go. Southgate seems the right manager, says England number 1. Alice Gonzo, when do you sleep? Give your missus some attention. We love you, but go to bed. Alice, listen, my wife is a nurse, so she does shift work, basically. So she only came back halfway through the second half. I am actually going to go and see her. We're going to go and catch up. We're watching reruns of Game of Thrones at the moment, so I'm going to go in a minute. Bless her. Thank you. She will appreciate that. I'll tell her you said that. Matt, he said, thank God we didn't buy Bakar. Chris says there are a few players he would take for that Japan squad for West Ham. Be good for shirt sales as well. Hey, I tell you what, Sullivan, I'd like your thinking, Chris. Thank God it's earlier. I've got eye bags like Gemma Collins. Says Paul. Almost every game has been 1 a.m. here in Vietnam. There we go. Oh, yeah, of course, that's right. I remember now you are there. Right, what else we got? FIFA hates the English. Yeah, I mean, England number 1. I mean, what can you say? FIFA, whether they're corrupt or whether they're useless, they're not really fit for purpose, are they? Operating out of a bunker and under a mountain in Switzerland and carving up money and dishing it out to one another. I don't like them, but do you know what? Let's not worry about them. This is our day. This is our day. Scott, there's only one Gonzinho. I like Gonzinho. It makes me sound skillful and Brazilian, but not like a diving, rolly around one like Neymar. No, I'll be a Ronaldinho. So I loved Ronaldinho. He was good to watch, wasn't he? Ronaldinho, that was entertaining. I bet when Rivaldo got hit in the leg, didn't he? The ball hit him in the leg and he clutched his face. Oh dear. Right, listen, I'm going to go. I don't know if there's anything else left to discuss. I'm going to take Alice's advice. I'm going to go and speak to my wife now. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? Thank you for joining me. It feels like I've had a chat and we've couldn't go to the pub, clearly. My wife was at work, sat here with the kids. So kids enjoyed it. They'll all be tired for school in the morning. So they all cheered at the end and I high-fived them. But I've not had a chat with any grown-ups about it. So thank you very much indeed for your company. It's been nice talking to you. Maybe we'll do this again. Nobody did ever message me. Let me know when the next game is. But don't worry. I'll check it out. Maybe we'll... it's getting hot in here. I'm sweating a bit. Maybe we'll reconvene and do the same after then. Good night. They put us through. They put us through the mill, didn't they? Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I really do. Enjoy doing these. Thanks a lot. Get some kit if you can. Don't have what I say in Crime Watch. Don't have nightmares. Yeah. See you later. Thanks a lot.